I lost my colon cancer is almost it's one of the ones they say is like a death sentence. Colon cancer and prostate cancer is different. If you know somebody that has colon cancer and they caught it late, it's just, what they say is pretty much get your affairs in order. Yeah. So, condolences to you, brother. I understand what you went through because my grandfather passed of the exact same thing, colon cancer.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Go ahead, Luis.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing. One of the things that I would like to share is that although I don't have those particular stories in my family, I do have ones of high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is a silent killer. It's very important to see your doctor at least once or twice a year, especially if you're having any type of complications. But also, gentlemen, especially the young ones out there, do not stop investing in yourself. Do not let yourself go. Continue to work out, continue to go running, hiking, biking, get outside, keep moving. Don't stop. Don't slow down. You know what I'm saying? And be mindful of what you eat. You are what you eat. And I think that we can't stress enough about the food culture that we have here in this side of the world, right? In terms of our choices and what we elect to put in our plate. It's very important to kind of be conscious about what type of foods that you eat constantly. It's okay to have like one of those dates to kind of deviate, but you got to be very consistent about the food. We know we love soul food. You know what I'm saying? We love that great food, but you got to understand, I think there's variation in everything. And I think those food habits and the things that we elect to do, over consuming alcohol, I think at a certain point you got to slow it back. Tobacco, I think that you got to be a little bit more conscious about the choices that we make. And these things are going to affect what type of lifestyle we lead. But yeah, genetics plays a huge role in having access to healthcare. You know what I'm saying? For those guys who have those jobs and the 401ks and all that stuff, do not stop going to the doctor. Make sure you make a list, make a family tree. Like, look, my grandfather died of this, my grandma had this, and just make a list so they stay on top of it. And you can also stay on top of it as well, and stay on top of your health and, continue to take care of yourself because you only have one body. You got to take care of it until, the very end, and you can get the maximum out of your life. But I think that we can't stress enough the health component of a lot of you. And I'll land with this one. Even testosterone in men is low compared to 100 years ago, and compared to today, it is completely low. It's probably 50% of where it used to be. So even that is a concern, and you guys have to take a very good look at environmental factors and what you're getting into. Are you?
So if it's low, then what do you do? Is it medication or what is it?
I mean, if your testosterone is low, I mean, I guess it depends on age. They have a chart. They pretty much chart it out based on like age and all this stuff. If you are lower than a certain threshold, you should see your doctor would probably prescribe or recommend, testosterone injections or some sort of other medical procedure. But I think that there is a screen for concern that if we compared to where we once were in terms of men's testosterone compared to today, it's half of that. You know what I'm saying? Compared to their grandfathers and today, it's nearly half of that. Right. So there's a larger conversation to be had. Obviously, there's a lot of things. It's the water, it's the air quality, it's the lifestyle that we lead, right? We're working more, we're more stressed. There's just a lot going on. And I think that those factors play a huge part in your quality of life.
So, JR, you asked about testosterone specifically, right?
Yeah.
So testosterone is produced in your gonads. 95% of testosterone is produced in your balls, right? It's about 5% that's produced in your adrenal glands. And one of the reasons why testosterone is lower today is for I got to say two reasons. One is the food we eating. We're not eating in America. We're not eating food. That leads to the discussion on why I got diagnosed with complicated diverticulitis, which is your colon. I'll explain that later. But the preservatives, remember preservatives was created around the turn of the last century. Before that, there was no preservatives. There was nothing to make food last. You had to eat it. Once it came out of the ground and somebody harvested food, they had to rush that to the market. People had to hair up and buy it. They had to hair up and cook it. They had to hair up and eat it, or it went bad. Now, food, we store it, we last it, we put these preservatives in it. That's the difference between, well, one of the things is when they say it's organic? Organic is the difference on was pesticides used or not. So we're eating food that has pesticides in it. We're eating foods that have preservatives in it. So the milk lasts longer, the eggs last longer, the meat lasts longer, your bread lasts longer in the cupboard. It doesn't mold too fast. Fast food, the levels of preservatives in fast food for it to ship from McDonald's headquarters in Utah over to your city, and then to sit in the freezer, and then to finally cook it in for it to last all day. We have all those things. So the food that we're eating in America ain't really food. So there's that. And then the other thing is people aren't active. So if testosterone is produced in your balls, and you're sitting at a desk 12 hours a day versus the man that was out in the field 100 years ago, harvesting the field or wrangling horses or walking or lifting and building the country and doing stuff. And outside, men were outside doing things 100 years ago, whereas now we are at a computer all day. We're on our phones all day. We're riding in the car. If we got to go somewhere, we're riding in the car, or we're on the subway. We're sitting down on our asses with our balls tucked between our thighs all day. And then we're eating this food, so-called food. And then we're wondering, like, well, how come the testosterone is lower than the men that was 100 years ago? Where's the masculinity in men? How come men are so docile and meek and just chill and and kind of like just a lot of why is their testosterone so low, which leads to some of the aggression in just building and doing things that men need to do, is because of the food we're eating, and we're sitting at our computer desks all day long running reports for our company boss. And so the answer to that is men need to get the fuck outside and work out. The only way, you can't really change the economy as to what you do to make money. I'm on the computer all day long. That's what I do. I make money with my brain. So I need to sit at a computer hours at a time. But you can combat that by working out. You got to go to the gym. You got to do something. You got to lift. One of the best things for producing, I remember a guy told me years ago, he said one of the best ways to increase your testosterone naturally is to squat, is to get on a squat bar and work your legs. Because you working your lower body and working your legs and working that area will just naturally create it. And so that is the answer directly to your question. What do we do? Work out.